I truly believe that Porter, from the time he's been here, he's set the stage for servant leadership.
He leads from the heart.
Treats everyone like family.
He loves getting to interact with everybody.
He can talk to anybody about anything.
He's able to make a stranger feel like family.
He makes other people feel comfortable.
He just loves that. He loves hearing their stories.
The people is really the number one thing.
He will give you the shirt off his back.
He's always thinking of himself last.
He never lets the pressures of work to stand in the way of helping somebody.
He may be the first to be there, maybe the last to leave, but he doesn't want the spotlight. He wants everyone else to shine.
He set such a high bar for all of us that follow him.
Serving it every single day of his career has been the best part for him.
That's what I have really taken away from working with Porter.
Well, like many, I feel now, 37 years later, like I was led, but I didn't know it at the time. I was a junior undergrad at SMU. I had decided I was interested in local government, but didn't know much about it. Looked around for internships and found out that those were pretty much mostly for grad students, which I was not. So I did a lot of cold calling and got a lot of no's, we don't really need you. And then I had a friend that I had worked with at Six Flags, who was waitressing at Thorntree. And she called me one day. She was kind of brash and said, I know you're kind of interested in local government, and I know a council member from DeSoto, and they said something to the effect of, well, you might have them try Cedar Hill. And I'm like, where's that? Well, where's where the towers are? I was like, well, okay. So after school the next day, I called and said, hey, I'm a college student interested in local government. Is there somebody I could come out and talk to? The nice lady on the other side said, oh, sure. So I went trucking down there the next day and met a lady named Pat Bateman, who was super sweet, and the assistant city manager at the time named Bill Lindley.
When Porter came, Cedar Hill was just starting its boom of growth. People discovered us, and so many things were changing.
This city was small, less than 20,000 people.
When we came out to tour or look around, it was a Sunday afternoon, nobody was around. It was, quiet town. That was in 1987. The town was so small, there was just one light.
We had numbers of roads that were just two-lane asphalt.
We drove through and we were like, oh my gosh, this place is beautiful. I didn't even know it was so pretty. And of course, with the lake there and all that, it sparked his interest, and the rest is history.
So Bill Lindley took me in his city car, and we went on this wild rumpus down Texas Plume Road, and I fell in love with the town almost immediately.
And they would send him to each and every department. Whatever needed to be done, he did it. And I think that was the thing he liked most, was working with an employee and a department and finding out exactly what that department did. When he first came, we were in administration, very tight. Our city manager's name was Greg Vick. In comes Porter, Greg Porter. Things come up. People in a distance will holler, Greg. And both of them answered. So we just shortened his to Porter.
They let me do all kinds of stuff, and it was literally like a playground. So I got to asphalt streets, I got to chase dogs, got to work on utility ordinances, and everything was like a new gift to open up. It was just so much fun.
They couldn't get him to leave at night. He was so excited about it.
The thing we really need to think about Porter when it comes to major projects is those look like jobs to do. They look like pieces of something. With Porter, it was more of a larger definition of what life is.
I remember when I first started, this was before I had kids, he would talk about loving the baby, and I'd be like, what baby? And he's talking about Cedar Hill, and this is his baby. He leaves behind a legacy of wanting us all to love the baby and to care for it the way we would our own children.
Greg and I have worked on a lot of projects together. Projects that changed the course and destiny of Cedar Hill.
Porter has seen the city through significant change from the time that he started.
One of the first really big ones was redoing Beltline Road. But it was more than just a road. It was symbolic of where Cedar Hill was going to go. And that led to going to the citizens with things like, we need a government center that speaks to the future and lasts 100 years. We need a rec center where our people can gather and have meeting rooms.
The knowledge that he gets from working with everybody, he stores. And I think that was real genuine, and it shows when he talks to people.
And so the project really isn't build something and get it done. It's more of, how does this fit into the bigger picture of everything we're doing to create a place where citizens want to live that we call Cedar Hill?
Relationships are critical, trust is critical, and I think Porter has it to the nth degree. On a scale of 1 to 10, he'd be a 15 of someone that you trust. I think the legacy that he leaves behind is that every aspect that you see of Cedar Hill today, as it currently exists now, Porter's had a hand in it. As I mentioned to you, all the road improvements, all the facilities, the shopping center, Porter was critical, very, very critical to every project that you see and that's foundational and that's a part of Cedar Hill that you see today. Porter's legacy is that he had an incredible hand in making it happen.
It led to this idea of, how do we create a signature park, but we also need a library? Well, what a great idea to put them together and all of a sudden say we get to have the synergy of feeding people's souls with the natural environment and their minds with a library. It doesn't happen automatically. It's when you give of yourself, these things happen.
And, a lot of these parks that we have throughout our neighborhood, that's a big major accomplishment. Going to the legislator and trying to make sure that, the bad bills or the bills that's being, authored was not going to be able to impact, the city of Cedar Hill. So we accomplished a lot. It's just so much that we have done. And I'm, very proud to be here in Cedar Hill doing this process where we are emerging and growing.
He just, grew, developed into something awesome.
The city is our family. We don't really separate the two. Miss Pat has been an extra grandmother to me. Alan Sims is Uncle Alan to all of us, even to my son. Bobby Grayshall, Clifton Feltz, all of these people are part of our family, and that's the city. Like we just don't separate them.
We just love being around everybody. It's nice. It's like a family reunion every time we go to something, whether it be a neighborhood block party or anything. We just enjoy it. And then now that we have Kane, he loves to come to all of that too. So it's just so much more to do now.
So I have always been involved in the city. We've gone to every city event, mostly, since we've been, Toddlers, yeah. And as I've gotten older, I've gotten to get into volunteering, and I'm a part of the Mayor's Teen Council, which is a big part. We get to serve the community in a different way than I do with my family, so I love that.
So ever since I was a little kid, I've always been involved with the city in little ways. So since I could walk, I've been hanging out with Sean in the Parks and Rec department. Since I was around 5, I've been volunteering every year at Country Day on the Hill and every other city event that the Parks Department puts on.
We grew our marriage here. We grew our kids here. Everything has been revolved around, our entire married lives have been around Cedar Hill. And we wouldn't change it for the world. Several people have asked us, so are y'all moving? Are you gonna leave? Where are you going? Thinking we're gonna buy a place in Colorado or whatever, live the life. And we just look at each other and say, we're not going anywhere.
Describing Porter in one word is almost impossible because I think of a lot of things. Porter is meticulous.
Amazing.
Loyal.
Selfless.
Porter is the epitome of a servant, a public servant.
Porter is very giving.
Selfless.
Dedicated.
Perfect.
He's a dad to everybody, for sure.
Humble is a word.
Porter is family.
Friend is one I like best.
So my hopes for him are more than just him. It's for him and his family. I wish for him and his family travel. I wish for them adventures. I wish for them peace and happiness and love, all the things that he's brought to Cedar Hill.
I really hope that he will take at least 6 months to step back, sit in silence a lot, and just listen to himself think and be able to get to know himself again. And through that process, I hope that he will get to know us again too.
Porter's life so far has been a book, and it's been an incredible book to read. And I would say this book is closed. Start writing the next chapter, the next book.
This is a chance for 2.0 life. And to take all of that experience and figure out how to be an elder statesman and love this city continuing, take pride in what has been, to let go where you need to let go, to love your family and your life to the fullest extent.
I hope that he gets to enjoy the green space that he's preserved here by going to the state park, the rec center, the lagoon, all of it. I think he needs to enjoy all of the space he's created for himself in a different way that's not through the city.
In retirement, I hope Dad learns where everything is in the house, and I also hope that he gets to travel the way he's wanted to for his entire life.
I hope that, our friendship doesn't go away as he's looking at the next chapter into his life. But I am very proud of him.
I would like to see him relax, take a deep breath, go to those places that he wants to go.
Thank you for allowing me to work along with you. I appreciate the accomplishments that we have worked together. I appreciate you helping me with my professional development as mayor, and I will never take those things for granted. So thank you for your time at Cedar Hill.
I love him I loved him as boss. I love him as a friend, and he's so many things to so many people.
I hope for Dad in retirement, happiness, time to explore, travel, take Kane on trips. They've got grand adventures planned, and we can't wait to see where they go.
Playing with him.
Is there anything else?
What are you going to play?
Hide and seek.
Hide and seek, okay.
Aside from making adventures with Pops.
I just hope that he enjoys life. He deserves the break. He deserves the time. And I don't expect that he will stop talking to people, because that's definitely who he is.
I am profoundly grateful to the town and the community for allowing me and my family to spend our life here. This place, when I first came, I didn't know that it was my whole life sitting in front of me, but it has blessed me in ways I find hard to articulate. It's given me purpose. It's given me a family. It's given me a place and a vision I deeply believe in. And it's given me the relationships of a lifetime. And, I've had the blessing of coming across some really amazing people. Some are still with us, and some are not. But what I've taken away from it is that, this is a town that's got God's hands on it, and it brings people here for reasons. And if you're lucky enough to be one of them and to have any time here at all, then you're truly blessed. And so I cannot express my gratitude to the town enough. I have been given far more than I have given back. Alan Sims always used to say, to whom much is given, much is required. And I've tried to live by that, but I also know that we've been taken far better care of than we deserve, and we're just so grateful and blessed for the opportunity.